I was trying to get the latest information on Waiapai because I know there's a lot of us here that, yes, the homes are important, but the Waiapai ponds were very, very special also. And up to this point, I can say that none of the Waiapai ponds were touched. So. And I have to stress up to this point, okay? I want to say something in regards that is meaningful. I'm looking at my very good friend here, Adam, who lost a lot. I was talking to Greg. These are people I've met from way back. I bought my place in 1971 because I wanted a piece of Puna because I knew what was happening. There's some place that I could just sit by the water. I had to borrow $5,000 to buy it. Sounds like nothing now, but it was all I had. And I bought it because I wanted to be next to the Waiapai ponds. In regards to the pulley, I'll show you an example of history. When I bought it, it was a lousy lot, but that's all I could afford. The pond in front of me, which you call Waiapai now, with a beautiful coral outside, was what we call Mullet Pond. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Why do we call it Mullet Pond? Mullet Pond because the water was murky and muddy because there was no circulation. That was 1971. Then came that very horrendous day of 1975, huge earthquake. So the whole area sank about 2.5 feet. And that's why we have the Waiapai ponds. And it's the truth. The mud water was flushed out within a couple of months. And within a few months after that, different fish. A few months after that, the corals started to come in. So sometimes you just don't know what the future holds, but sometimes it makes it better. But I know those are just words. I saw with huge sadness Greg Brown. I met him when they were young kids, him and his wife. Dreams of a place down there, borrowed money. I remember SBA, college kids, because I'm that old. And they made a very successful business, and they lost it. You know, if Greg could not even hold back his emotions as he's just saying hi. I'm just telling you all that of my good friend Adam. I know how it hurts inside. So let's go from there on what we can do. Our governor is coming here on Thursday. I wanted him to be here today, but he couldn't because of commitment. Prior to talking to the governor, I talked to the head of FEMA about the situation that you are in. And we have to bring some glimmer of light out there in this very, very sad time. And this is what we commit to you. I don't want to go into the bureaucracy of what we have to do to get there because we're dealing with the federal public laws. That we have to get the proclamation in regards to eligibility for certain kind of programs. Because when the governor was successful in getting the presidential, the eruption just started. So there was nothing that we could submit to say we qualify for this or that because we didn't qualify for anything because you have to have certain minimum number of homes, et cetera, et cetera. But we've surpassed that now, and we will go for it. I have the commitment of FEMA. I have the commitment of the governor that we will use every single avenue of every single thing we can get our hands on to develop programs that will include shelter, hopefully a community to build, et cetera, et cetera. I ask for your trust in us and we will do this. The governor will be here on Thursday making a public statement with the FEMA head to say we will work as a team. Originally, it would be the county would submit a request to the state would come back and verify it, then the state would go to the FEMA will come and verify it. We hope to eliminate all of that standard bureaucracy. I promise you, whatever we can expedite, we of the federal, the state, the county, and the private sector will work together. We know some of your bad situations. We will try to address all of it. I got a nasty letter today, and I don't blame them, accusing me of why am I going to close the shelter. And I don't, I understand why they feel that way. They hear something. We wouldn't do that to you at all. We're going to try to make a program that is comprehensive, including sheltering, temporary, long-term community building. Naturally, you'll be involved in the development of it as we go along. For those of you who ask about my health, I look at you and I say, "She's, look what they're going through, and they're asking me about my health." Thank you for who you are. God bless you all. I wanted to tell you a story about my history. In 1946, we had a devastating tsunami that killed 159 people in the Hilo, Kapoho area. A small town. I'm sure they don't mind. There's this small company named Hilo Products, small restaurant named Cafe 100. And they built, and it was destroyed. And they borrowed money. I remember the sadness of the boss. His name was Henry, because 1960 came and destroyed everything they built up to that point, a new place. And was even sadder because they lost family through the tsunami. And to this day, I can remember sitting with him just as a friend. Seems like small. He said, "I got to borrow 60,000, Harry, and I already owe this much." It's like, there's no end to this. And what you have today is Hilo Products, one of the biggest distribution companies as far as fresh fruits and groceries. Cafe 100, believe it or not, went through the same thing. These were all World War II veterans. I have a real close alliance to them because of who they are and were. And they built a brand new place in Waikea also with borrowed money. And here comes the 60 tsunami, wipes them out. And they borrowed money, and what you see is Cafe 100. I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. In the darkest of time, I ask you to stick with us together, all of us as a community. If we have the will, we will make it better. He just told you. Permit that takes years, we're going to make it down into months or weeks. I got the governor to say, the governor and FEMA will do things that they haven't done before to work as a group. No federal, state, county, just one group. And we'll begin the process. We already have. Mike has been told they're part of it. Others have been told they're part of it. We're going to get the key people in it with ideas, because we don't have all the ideas. Some of you need farms, some of you need a place to stay, a house, or whatever. And I don't see any billionaires in here. Hang in, people. We'll get it done. Thank you.